Hi, and welcome to another episode of The War Bunker.
My name is High Marshal Durnford. For almost half a millennia, my world of New Albion has been isolated from the universe as a vast storm in space raged about us. In a galaxy at constant war, we were hidden from the worst, but now that is ended. Suddenly we find ourselves in a universe filled with terrors and supermen. But we are the Astro Militarum, and we stand ready. Hi, and welcome back to part 3 of our campaign, the Tears of New Albion. This is part 3, the rescue. If you remember in part 2, the Imperial Guard and the Orcs were both around a village, and that the Imperial Guard were going to investigate after finding out that some of the servitors originally came from there and trying to find out what's going on. The Orcs did really well in that game, but pretty much wiped out the unit that came out there. There might be a few survivors running around the fields, but no one really, in the Imperial Guard, no one really knows what went on. So the commander has sent this thing here out. It sent a Valkerie out to do a bit of a recce to find out where have all our men gone. And it's just arrived to find out there are some mobile Orc forces, and deep in a trench there are some Ultramarines fighting for their lives. There's also 2 potentially friendly Storm Talons. If you remember, these Storm Talons were there in the first game. One appeared very briefly and then disappeared. What's going on? There are also Space Marines in the same colour that the Orcs were using as rhinos. This doesn't look good. Welcome to part 3, the rescue. For this game turn, it's just going to be basically a battle between the Valkyries and the Storm Talons to start with. The Valkyrie has to get off the table because it's basically being jammed currently, to basically send a radio message, a Foxcast message, to the rest of the forces to say there's something going on here. We need a rescue, and mobilise a rescue squad. The question is, will I be able to stop him from leaving this? I've got 2 Storm Talons equipped with las cannons. Overall, I've got about 1,000 points. Cameron's will have about 750 points. It is uneven, but the whole game, his objective is to rescue those. My objective is to stop him. Let's start. Turn 1.
I'm going to shoot at that first one. No, I'm going to shoot the second one. The one behind it. Okay.
Such a daring roll. You've got to put the... Sorry, I hit it by accident. You've got to put the die. You've got to roll the dice where the camera can see. Oh. And he scatters. Look at the scattering. Did any hit?
No.
Are they twin linked?
Yeah.
And you've rolled them twice.
Yep.
Yeah. Brave, but so foolish. My turn, I guess. Where have I put my notes? All this talk about being prepared.
So I guess they're going into hovering mode?
Now these are going to shoot.
Well, they haven't moved.
Oh, sugar. Ah, you swine! You swine! So, no, they'll have to go into hover mode. They'll have to, because of course, if I put them in, if I don't move them, they'll shoot past. So they're gonna shoot. They get a +1 to their shooting, but that doesn't really help against flyers. You swine! That's good tactics. I have 1, 6. Oh, wait a second, I get to re-roll these because they're all twin linked. This is the first one.
1.
I've got one hit with a. What's the front arm of yours?
12.
So I've got I need a 6 basically.
I think.
5.
Oh no, I don't play Vendetta.
Sounds 12. So, yeah, because I've got an assault cannon which is strength 6.
Yeah, 12.
So the first one does nothing. Yeah, the second one. Useful having creators in this board, because it means that the dice don't go quite everywhere like you.
Shut up. You meanie.
Bah, nothing. Your turn. Turn 1.
Right, I'm gonna pivot, and then I'm gonna go flat out.
If you weren't going to go flat out, it might have been useful for you to say jinky. Just remember you have to declare jinky when they shoot.
Well, I knew you weren't gonna hit me, so.
So you're going 36.
It's 24, isn't it?
Flat out is double that. 18 times 6 is 36.
36.
Doesn't quite take you off the board.
I'm just gonna put it on this side for obvious reasons.
Basically, unfortunately, Valkeries are a bit wobbly. Can these turn? Yeah, these can turn and move 18 while still. And I've got rear armour now. Funnily enough, I thought in a good dogfight you might charge at them to kind of like close the distance quicker, because then they can't turn around. First one. 2 hits.
Jank.
3 hits. Back armor's 10, isn't it?
Yep.
It'll all be over quite quickly. Penetrating. 2 penetratings, 1 glancing. Do you want to roll those cover saves?
What is a jank save?
4 and up.
Oh, we shouldn't have done that.
Why?
Because now we can't tell which ones are the penetrating.
Say you've missed 1 penetrating. Yeah.
Okay.
For ease. And that penetrating shot did 4, which means he's got to move straight in a line, doesn't it? Okay, and then for the other one.
Jank.
I know you've jinxed.
Nothing. And no.
They're both glancing. So roll. One's okay. Is that crashing and burning now?
Yep.
You tried to be too clever. Off the table. Ah. Bang. We don't put another crater, yeah, put another nether crater on. Do you want to take it off the board altogether?
No.
Because you want to use it for cover, don't you?
Yep.
Okay, so I don't have to now reveal what my arm. Basically, if he got off, because Cameron's not made his army list yet. If he hadn't got off, if he went off, I could reveal exactly the contents of my army, because the recce would have told him exactly what I got, and he'd be able to make the rest of his army list up based on that. So you're going to have to stick with what you've written. Are you ready for it?
Nope.
I think this is where we need an intermission to get your forces on the board. Turn
1.
This is like a prologue to the game. Turn 1 of the new game, the next game coming up. This isn't easy to say. We've played probably one of the most fun, exciting, fast-paced games we ever did. And we thought we'd hit record on this thing. And then we got to the end of the game, pressed a button, and then a number started counting up to indicate we hadn't recorded it. So what's going to follow now is we're just going to go through briefly how we played the rest of the game. It was a lot of fun, wasn't it? Mm-hmm. Well, it would be for Imperial Guard, because you might guess how things went on. A lot of fun, fast pace, some lousy dice rolls, some absolutely lousy dice rolls. And yeah, and this is basically what happened. I mean, Cameron basically ended up bringing a lot of last cannon power to the game, as well as a basilisk, big gun thingy, and that was a good choice. If you remember, I had 3 warcopters, some war buggies, a battle wagon, which contained a squad of mega nobs, plus a big mech with a force field, which I thought would make that'll make lots of things bounce off with a 5 or a 6 save. Did I ever get a 5 or a 6 save?
No.
Pretty much. So you can guess where things go. And over there, a pack of flash kits. Now this roughly tells you what my problems were. Most of my vehicles, most of them are fast, very fast. Orcs got very fast vehicles, but most of them have a weapon range of about that much. You are fielding las cannons, so show what the range of a las cannon is, which is 48. So pretty much everything. So from my first go, I moved my men, these guys up about 12 inches, and that up to about the 12 inch. So it was just about, it was about there. That's where my problem started. These things moved up, these decided to go straight down the belly and try and take out some of the last cannons there, while I decided to use my choppers to try and basically look at these things, because these I thought was key to it, was to try and take out the chimeras, win the game. Yeah. What was that, sorry? I keep wanting to call it Land Raider, or Land Raider, but it isn't. Battle wagon. My battle wagon kept shooting at these, thanks to the Orc ballistic skill of 5 and a 6 to hit, and some 4 and up cover. Throughout the game, I failed to do any damage. Meanwhile, these things just raced up full 12. And by game two, they were manoeuvred. Round 2, they were manoeuvred for everyone to jump on board. During this time, these things did squat, and in fact, I think the heavy thing from that pretty much vaporised one straight away by that. Oh yeah, and a heavy shot from a basilisk that landed nicely, managed to take out 2 of my fast attack before I'd even started. That thing couldn't move, so I decided to bail everyone out, which didn't turn out to be a very good move, did it?
Nope.
Because basically they got out, and then a second shot from the basilisk. You got a lot of on-target rolls, didn't you?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Have you ever had so many? I think you had 3 in a row, didn't you?
I only scattered once.
In the game.
In the game.
So pretty much that squad of 10 flash kits Again, flash gates don't have a terribly good range to their weapon. We've reduced to about 3. Put another 2 guys with them. And I think at that point, didn't those the sentinels move forward?
Yeah.
And pretty much, I think, finished off what was left, wasn't it?
No, they shot at those. At that. And took it down to 2.
Yep. So these guys all piled on board and started to move. Move away. This was where I thought, aha, I've got you by the nuts now. So I manoeuvred these things behind, because trying to take advantage of that rear armour. I did point out to Cameron, you know, that you're perfectly justified to just point them the other way and have to shoot the front armour. But yeah, thanks to their lousy ballistic skill.
Plus smoke.
Yeah, plus smoke. Basically, they managed to glance quite a few times, and they'd taken one down to about 1 hull point, but they didn't actually manage to take one off. Meanwhile, these two charged up to get closer, and that moved there. By which time all these guys were obviously elsewhere. They were all loaded. And that was pretty much the point where the war truck, is it called? I keep forgetting.
Battle wagon
Decided that it had enough and it decided to explode. So all my mega knobs got out to walk from this point, but I wasn't particularly worried at this point because I had a 5 or a 6 cover save, thanks to my force field, and 2 enough armour save. Unfortunately, there was a lot of last cannons, and I managed to take out pretty much a couple. One here, I think one over there.
You only took 1 team out.
1 team?
Yeah, 1 last cannon team.
Oh.
1 squad.
1 squad?
No, not 1 squad, 1 team.
Alright, 1 team. Is it just up there?
1 single base.
I'll take that away. I also managed to get rid of 1 sentinel and wound the other one. But meanwhile, these guys basically were charging forward, hoping to kind of get in a range. They rolled, I believe, a 2 on one of their charges, which was abysmal. And by the time, before too long, thanks to las cannons and not having an invulnerable save, they were reduced pretty much to nothing. Then I tried to switch targets and actually charge at these. And they just basically got taken off the board. Never did I get a save from my force field, which was a complete waste of time. These likewise did another suicide charge at the sentinels, and it was goodbye from them. So at the end of the game, that was it. You managed to get off, and you pretty much, I think you had wiped everything off the board.
Yeah.
As far as the orcs went. So I felt mean for having like about a 250 point advantage, but you managed to turn that one on its head, didn't you?
Yeah.
Meanwhile, what had transpired was dun dun dun. This was Captain. Did we call him Captain Marcus?
I don't know.
Captain Marcus. He's now called Captain Marcus. And he is indeed from the Ultramarines. And basically they're here hunting part of a chapter that's gone renegade. The Storm Wolves are basically based in the Ragnarok star system. They are a slightly abnormally large chapter. And one of their captains is believed to have gone heretic, basically. And he's basically tried to seize control of the whole chapter from the current chapter master. There was a civil war. This is actually a game we played a long time ago, isn't it? And it was a lot of fun where we basically split my Space Marine army in 2 and fought it against each other. And what happened is that the heretic captain basically lost, and he's basically run with his tail between his legs. He has about 300 to 400 survivors left, but he's desperate to regain power, and he knows, compared to the rest of the chapter and with other Space Marines now hunting him, he's in a very weakened state. They're currently hiding out in an asteroid unknown to the captain here, that's basically been converted into a fortress that everyone just thinks is just a normal mining asteroid. Nobody pays much attention to. So because they're so desperate, they've forged some strange alliances. They've basically allied themselves with the Orcs, and what's happened is they've basically come to this planet of New Albion to try and harvest as many of its young men to turn into basically scouts. So they're giving them a lot of gene seed, quite a lot of them being rejected, such as the servitors, and then they're being basically turned into servitors. But they're so desperate to increase their numbers. They're plundering they're basically fighting other Space Marines to basically plunder what gene city they've got, so they can build their numbers. And they're also plundering planets like this to try and, normally when the selection process for gene seal is really, really rigorous, and they just don't have time for it. They're just grabbing people, going, okay, these should be fairly tough people. Let's throw gene seed in. If they live, that's great. If they don't, then that's just too bad, and we'll try again. Because they're just desperately trying to increase their numbers. So that was how Game 3 panned out. Mm-hmm. And we're now looking forward to Game 4. What will happen next? Well, more to come. Thanks for watching. Sorry about the glitch, obviously. Do subscribe, because game number 4 is likely to be quite a lot of fun. Catch you later.
Bye.